Think about the last time you bought something solely to be seen with it. The adrenaline spike when the transaction went through. For about 12 seconds, you felt powerful, you felt safe. But be honest with yourself right now. What happened on the drive home? Did the anxiety leave, or did it just get more expensive? You are exhausted. You are working a job that drains you to maintain a lifestyle that doesn't even belong to you. You look in the mirror. You see the brands, the car keys, the perfectly curated image. But you also feel the silence. You feel the crushing weight of keeping the lights on in a museum, dedicated to a version of you that doesn't exist. Here is the glitch in the matrix that nobody told you about. Have you ever noticed that the people with absolute fuck you money are usually the hardest ones to spot? The owner of the building is often wearing a plain t-shirt, while the guy leasing the penthouse is drowning in debt. Just to wear the logo. You aren't building a brand. You are paying a tax on your insecurity. This isn't about saving money. It's about why you feel the desperate need to prove you have it. If you have to shout that you are successful, you are whispering that you are an imposter. And right now, we are going to look at the bill you are actually paying. Not in dollars, but in freedom. Why do you do it? Why does a rational, logical human being work 40 hours of high-stress labor just to buy a watch that tells the same time as their phone? You aren't stupid with money. You are the victim of a biological hijack. For 200,000 years, status wasn't vanity, it was survival. If you were important to the tribe, you ate first, you got the mate, you survived the winter. If you were low status, you were invisible. And in the wild, invisibility meant death. Your brain is hardwired to scream, "Look at me, I matter, I have resources." But here is the tragedy of the modern world. We hacked the code. In the wild, you had to kill the bear to wear the fur. You had to be the strongest hunter to lead the tribe. You couldn't fake it. But today, you can bypass the struggle entirely. You can swipe a piece of plastic and buy the symbols of a leader without ever becoming one. You are waving a peacock feather made of plastic. Psychologists call this compensatory consumption. It's a simple, brutal equation. When the internal self feels small, the external self tries to get big. Look at the shoes you bought last month, the ones sitting in the dark of your closet right now. Do you even remember the dopamine hit of buying them? Probably not. But the hours of life you sold to pay for them, those are gone forever. The loudest person in the room is usually the most fragile when you see someone flashing cash or obsessively curating their Instagram stories. You aren't looking at wealth. You are looking at a desperate plea for validation. You are seeing a person who is terrified that if they stop signaling, they will disappear. And this leads to the most dangerous irony of all. The more you try to look rich, the faster you ensure you will never be rich. You have handed the remote control of your self-esteem to strangers. You are spending money you don't have to impress people you don't like, to fix a feeling that buying things caused in the first place. So ask yourself this, and don't look away from the answer. If you lost the car, the clothes, and the followers tomorrow, who would you be? Would anyone still listen to you? Or is your entire identity just a receipt? Let's talk about the price. And I don't mean the price on the tag. I mean the price on your life. There is a terrifying distinction that most people never grasp until the floor falls out from under them. The difference between high income and high net worth. Society teaches you to chase the high income so you can buy the high status toys. But high income without retained wealth isn't success. It is high-class poverty. Your lifestyle has no airbags. If you make $200,000 a year, but you spend $200,000 a year to maintain the image of a rich person, you are not rich. You are fragile. One slip, one layoff, one unexpected illness, and your entire identity folds like wet paper. You are running on a treadmill set to maximum speed, terrified that if you stop for even a second, you will fly off the back and hit the wall. This is the golden handcuffs paradox, and I want you to be honest with yourself right now. Think about the last time you sat in your car before walking into a job you hate, and you thought, I can't leave right now. I have too many bills. Maybe next year. That wasn't logic talking. That was your lifestyle, tightening the chain around your neck. You have purchased your own prison cell and decorated it with Gucci. Real wealth is not measured in dollars. It is measured in time. If you stopped working today, how long could you survive before you lost everything? That is your real wealth score. For the person playing the status game, that number is usually measured in weeks. That isn't power, that is servitude. You are a highly paid servant to your own vanity. Every time you buy something to impress a stranger, you are stealing from your future self. That watch didn't cost you $10,000. It cost you 3 months of your freedom. It cost you the capital you could have used to buy your autonomy. And here is the psychological cost that is even worse than the money: fear. When you are obsessed with looking rich, you become terrified of losing what you have. You stop taking risks. You stop innovating. You cling to the safe corporate ladder because you have too much overhead to fail. You domesticate yourself. The status game turns lions into house cats. You neuter your own ambition because you are terrified of losing the comfort of your cage. You convince yourself you are winning because the cage has leather seats. But the moment you have to check your bank account to see if you can afford to quit a toxic situation, you realize who actually owns you. It's not the boss, it's the lifestyle. You are burning your engine red hot just to stay in the exact same spot. And eventually, the engine is going to blow. So, how do you escape? I want you to visualize 2 different people. The first is the one we've been talking about: loud, branded, anxious, checking their phone every 3 minutes to see if the world is watching. Now, look at the second person. They walk into the room and you don't notice them. They are driving a truck that's 5 years old. They are wearing a plain t-shirt. They are polite, but they are quiet. They don't signal. They don't broadcast. But if you could see their bank account, you would realize something terrifying. They could buy and sell the first person 10 times over. This is the ghost. The ghost is the most dangerous player on the board because you cannot read them. And this is where you have to make a painful psychological shift. To become free, you have to be willing to be underestimated. This is harder than it sounds. Your ego hates silence. Your ego wants the cookie now. It wants to post the win, flash the watch, and hear the applause. But the ghost understands a fundamental truth. Validation is for children. Assets are for adults. When you stop trying to look rich, you unlock a terrifying level of focus. Imagine the sheer amount of mental energy you are currently wasting, just trying to maintain an image. The stress of the car payment, the anxiety of the credit card bill, the fear of being judged. Now imagine if you took all that energy and channeled it into one thing: building. This is the concept of the zero. The zero is when you look like nothing to the outside world, but you are compounding everything on the inside. You are building an iceberg. The world sees only the tip, but 90% of your mass is underwater, invisible, and immovable. And why do you do this? Not to be a miser, not to hoard cash. You do it for the only metric that actually matters: autonomy. See, money is not for buying things. Money is for buying no. When you have what I call FU money, which is simply capital saved by not buying stupid status symbols, you become impossible to manipulate. Think about how your life changes when you don't need the deal. Your boss disrespects you? You can walk away. A client makes unreasonable demands? You can say no. A toxic relationship drains you? You can leave. This is the ultimate status symbol. The highest form of wealth isn't a Ferrari. It is the ability to wake up in the morning, look at your calendar, and realize that every single thing on it is there because you chose it. But to get there, you have to kill the avatar. You have to be willing to look boring for a few years. You have to embrace the grind in the shadows. While the masses are depreciating, you are growing. Every dollar you don't spend on a signal is a soldier you recruit for your freedom. You are building a fortress that no one can see until it is too late for them to catch up. Stop trying to be the main character in everyone else's movie. Be the director of your own. Go dark. Build in silence. Listen to me closely. Most people watching this video will nod their heads, feel a momentary spark of motivation, and then go right back to buying things they don't need, to impress people they don't like. They are addicted to the cage. Do not be one of them. I am not asking you to agree with me. I am demanding you prove it. Here is your directive. I want you to find one thing in your life right now that you are paying for solely to signal status. Maybe it's a subscription you don't use, a piece of clothing you're about to buy on credit, or a lease that is bleeding you dry. Kill it, cancel it, return it, sell it, take that money, and put it into an account you cannot touch. If you cannot do this, if the thought of losing that status symbol makes you physically uncomfortable, then you know exactly who owns you. You are not free, you are a pet. This is the test. You can look rich, or you can be free. You cannot be both. If this video cut deep, like it to mark the wound. If you are ready to stop performing for the sheep and start building with the wolves, subscribe to the channel. We don't signal here, we work. Welcome to the minority.